It's amazing to think that it's 10 years since the centenary event at the Royal Albert Hall, and looking back on it now, it just seems all the more remarkable that we put on something quite as ambitious and crazy really as that evening was. The idea that we could fill the Royal Albert Hall and put on an event celebrating the school's 100 years, but that is what we did.
Friends of the Vaughan, very warm.
I'd had the idea of using a giant screen and making films about the history of the school that we would show across the evening, because Mr. Stubbings had said that the only thing that he felt that we shouldn't do was just simply have a concert, that there had to be more to it than that, and I very much agreed. So we set about making films that told the history of the school. I was very lucky to have two incredibly helpful parents of boys at the school who were willing to help me make these films. Flavia Rittner, who was a documentary filmmaker, and Adam Schofield, who was a film editor and cameraman, and that they worked with me to create these short films that told the history of the Vaughan. So we, for example, we recreated the first day of the school when there were about 30 boys who were on roll.
When the big day finally came, the Vaughan's first headmaster, Canon James Driscoll, welcomed 29 boys.
They came from all over London, from Croydon to Kilburn.
We took a couple of old Vaughanians back to Belmont, down in towards Reading, where the school had been evacuated during the Second World War.
That's where we used to heat ourselves on those little paraffin heaters and cook our benediction Monday afternoons every week. Dr. Vance came in over there, and then
The part of the evening I was most proud of was the section dealing with the war dead, and it was the most complicated part of the evening. We had live music going along at time with the head boy and the head girl talking, and the videos playing at the same time. So we talked about the heroism of two particular old Vaughanians who had been awarded the Victoria Cross. And then the Roll of Honour listing the war dead was shown on the big screen. Makes me feel quite emotional watching it even now, and it was certainly, I think, quite something on the evening. I was very proud of this part of the night. We had a section about the school's proud sporting history as well, of course, and that was made by an old boy who works in TV.
Who sealed a 2-0 FA Cup win for Chelsea over Middlesbrough in 1997.
I was delighted that Dominic Holland, a comedian who's an old Vaughanian, was happy to come and speak, and he gave a very funny routine on the night.
When I was asked to say a few words at this esteemed occasion, I just thought it would be at the school hall.
And there was also a section in the second half of the event where we invited back previous stars of our shows. And we had a selection of songs from the shows performed by some of these young people, and just watching this now, 10 years later, I can't get over how good they are. They're just amazing.
Get out and pick a pocket or two. You've got to pick a pocket or two, boy.
You know, on such a stage, must have been terrifying for them, but they're just brilliant.
Rush up your Shakespeare. Start quoting him now. Rush up.
And of course, we ended the evening with the school song, with He Would Valiant Be, and I shan't forget in a hurry the experience of conducting that with 5,500 people singing it in the Albert Hall. It was a remarkable night, and something that I'll never forget, certainly. And looking back on this, it does make me terribly proud of what was achieved. and the way that we were able to celebrate the school and its fine history on what was a wonderful evening. And of course there had to be the obligatory balloon drop as well. Each of the balloons had the school crest on it, and we dropped, I think there were 2,000 of them, we dropped them from the ceiling. Of course, as I knew, the boys then took great delight in popping them all, and that's kind of how the evening ended, really, with a bang.